Welcome back to another episode of Convos with Your Mom's Favorites with hosts Moe and Greg. I am Mo.
I'm Greg.
And we are back. We are back with another episode for the people.
For the people.
I'm Greg. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I am doing well.
Good.
I am doing
Good.
well.
It's back to your weather again.
Yeah, you see that? You see that?
I cannot believe that last Friday, it was like 56
Oh,
degrees.
it felt amazing.
I was horrified.
I went outside and I just went outside and just like stood there. And like as I did that, like the wind blew and I was like, yes, just give it, bring it. Yes. My weather is coming soon.
I was horrified. I was like, oh man, I gotta go find my jacket.
Yeah, man. I cannot wait. How was your trip?
Oh man, it was awesome. It was awesome. To those who have never been to New Orleans, that's a trip you got to do. You got to do. We had such a great time, and it was the city, the food. Of course, the food is fantastic. You know, we talked to a cabbie, and he said to us, it's against the law to serve bad food in New Orleans.
I believe it.
And I believe. Oh yeah,
I believe it,
dude. We went to this. I went and got some food from this place that looked like an absolute dive. It looked like the last place you'd ever go to get some food. But they had a sign outside that it was not too far from where we were staying. Mm-hmm. And they had a sign outside that said hot plates. And so I looked at it, I was like, it was looking kind of dicey. And I was like, well, I can go in and look.
Right.
And if I don't want anything, I can go back out. But I went in. It was clean. The place was nice and clean. It was well, you know, they had like food. It was like a little grocery store. But in the back, they had someone cooking. So I went in the back and I looked at that food, and my mouth started watering. The rice, I have never seen rice. You know, you eat rice all the time.
Right.
But you never see rice that looks, my God, that rice looks beautiful. The rice was pretty. It was like
but it's usually those spots that like in the cut, not really, too many people
off the beaten path.
Yeah. Those are usually the spots. That's where you get the top tier food from the area that you're in.
We got some rice and some red beans that were incredible, and what else? And some fried chicken. That was incredible.
Sounds heavenly.
I was laughing at the young lady, and this was just one woman was working behind the counter, and I looked at her. I was like, As I was sorry to ask, are you married? I said, if you ain't, these men around here need to be whipped. These men, you in here cooking food like this, and you ain't got nobody. I said, come on, girl, come on.
Well, listen, I'll be in New Orleans. Just, text me later.
I sure will.
Because I love food.
Oh, yeah. You will definitely have a ball in that regard. Bourbon Street, again, is everything they say it is, and then some. It's crazy. And what we found out is that we thought that maybe it was just crazy during Mardi Gras.
Right.
Nah, all year round. The guys was like, nah, it's like this all year round. The only thing is that with Mardi Gras, it's more people.
Okay.
Other than that, it's just more crowded. He said, but other than that, this is how it is all year round. Great. I was like, nice. Okay, so you won't miss anything.
You're not missing anything.
You won't miss the experience.
Yeah, that's cool because I don't like more people. So
yeah, me
if
neither.
I can still get the
if
experience
I can sit without more people,
then
I'm good.
That's awesome. That is perfect.
I am good with that. Yeah.
That's good. That's awesome. So today we're gonna just jump right into it. There's nothing really to jump right into. Mm-hmm. We're just gonna have some fun, talk, life stuff. Sure. We're gonna just start off with something I found out last night. James Earl Jones, did you hear? He signed over his rights to voice Darth Vader.
What do you mean signed over?
He's like stepping back. He's stepping back from his role as like Darth Vader.
The voice of Darth Vader.
And signed over his rights to an AI company.
Really?
To then use him. Like the AI company is going to use just like, they're going to do it for him. Like he himself will not be voicing Darth Vader anymore. As a matter of fact, he already used the company in Obi-Wan. That wasn't actually
Oh no, get out.
James Earl Jones in Obi-Wan.
Okay. All right.
He's I mean,
So
not-
he's just not going into the studio anymore. Is that what was that what we're saying here?
Pretty much. They're gonna do it. He said he's still gonna be on as like an advisory role.
Okay.
But he's himself will not be voicing Darth Vader anymore.
Okay. Well,
I mean, it's well deserved. He's like 91.
He's like it's all right. It's good. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. It kind of sucks though.
Yeah.
In the sense that that's kind of an iconic role because he has an iconic voice.
Yes.
There are not many
there
voices like you could not know, like you hear the voice, and you instantly know it's James Earl Jones.
Yes.
There are very few people have that recognizable of a voice.
And if they're going to continue the franchise and with Darth Vader, it's hard to imagine that character without, because one of the thrills for like a lot of the directors that did this is especially the last set of directors that directed him in that his voiceovers.
Right.
They said the thrill was to go to the studio and be sitting there and listen to him and have him go into the booth.
Right.
And they hear his voice. He said, the one guy, he said, I was sitting there. He said, man, he started doing his lines. He said, I was geeking out.
Exactly. Because
he said, I've got Darth Vader in my booth, man.
Because I mean, he did this back in Star Wars came out in like the 70s, right? I mean, we're in 2022.
Yeah, so he's been doing this.
That's a long time
to be doing a character.
Doing a character.
And even though you're not doing it all the time, but whenever it's done,
you're the one doing it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think it'd be disrespectful, honestly, to just have someone else do it.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that they got an AI.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so the question I have with the AI, are they going to make it sound, it won't be him, but it'll sound close to his voice?
Yeah, because again, in Obi-Wan.
That's right.
Like they've done it already.
They've already experimented.
Until I read that that's what happened in Obi-Wan, I thought James Earl Jones just went back in the booth to do his lines for Obi-Wan, but he didn't because they used the AI program already.
Okay.
So we're still going to get that iconic voice. He himself won't actually.
And that's what else is interesting about that is that, God forbid, that he passes away tomorrow.
Right.
He's ensured his legacy.
Will still live on. Exactly.
Yeah, he's ensured his legacy because, the voice will always be pretty much his, but it'll be generated through AI. Okay, I can get that. Actually, that wasn't a bad move.
No, not at all.
That was not a bad move.
Not at all. And I'm not mad at it. It's just
not at all.
Because again, Darth Vader is gonna always be James Earl Jones. That voice is just always has to be attached to me.
Yeah.
So I kind of wish he did the same thing for Mufasa, but
that's right. Because who did Mufasa?
James Earl Jones.
He did.
Is Mufasa, but he won't be. He's not playing him in the prequel movie that's coming out. So
doing a prequel.
Yes.
Live.
No. I don't know. Probably. But yeah.
What's it called? Mufasa?
Yes.
Really?
That's really what it's called. It's called Mufasa.
Okay.
It's about like young Mufasa and young Scar, and I don't think anyone asked for that movie.
No, I was gonna say
no one needed it.
Yeah.
No one needs it. But it's coming out. It's a thing.
Okay, it's a thing.
It's gonna happen.
We'll see what happens with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially for the diehard Lion King fans. See if they'll receive it. Yeah.
It's gonna come out. It's gonna do what it's gonna do.
They're doing it.
But yeah. And hey, check it out. I'm actually wearing a
Darth
side
Vader
shirt.
Yeah.
So that wasn't even planned.
And it's interesting because I wish I had known because I would have wore. I have one too.
Really?
Not like that one.
Yeah.
But it has on there. I got it from New Orleans, and it's got an alligator on the front with a Darth Vader helmet on. This.
Oh, that's amazing.
This is Darth Gator.
That's fantastic, man.
This is Darth Gator. I love it.
Yeah. This was actually. It was just. I went and grabbed a shirt. It was the first shirt at the top of the drawer.
Yeah.
So this is what we did. But yeah, because I'm team villain. I tend to enjoy the villains more than the main heroes of the story.
I'm the villains are always more interesting.
So much more interesting.
The villains are always more interesting. I'm a big James Bond fan, and I go see James Bond based upon the villains.
Because they have so much depth and character to them.
And they're fun.
So much fun.
They're fun. The villains are always
so much fun. That's why I'm like, yo, I'm not a Batman fan, but his villains, Batman's got some of the greatest villains ever created.
Yeah, Batman the villains are incredible, and that's what it kind of like. And this was really interesting. I even have I do Pinterest, and Pinterest is like you pull pictures and you pull pictures of different things and you put them on in a category and you save them so you can go back and look at them later. But again, I have one dedicated to Batman, of course, but then I also have one dedicated to Bat villains.
Because man,
one of the things and each one you can put like a caption on, and the caption that I put on the Bat villain is because the Knight exists.
Right.
Yeah, because the Bat villains are so much fun.
They're so much fun.
They are so much fun, man.
Including, not limited to, but like, fam, the Joker himself.
Yes.
Because, and one of the greatest lines in Dark Knight was when Alfred was like, he was telling that story because they're trying to figure out why the Joker is doing what he's doing. And Alfred tells this story of like some guys and they found like rubies or whatever.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And and he's like, he's just throwing them over the waterfall. And he's like, why are they doing that? He's like, some men just want to watch the world burn. And he like, there seems to be it's like the Joker wakes up one day and says, I have an idea. So I'm going to do it. And then he does it.
Yeah.
It's like there's no rhyme, there's no reason. There's just
nothing.
He woke up with a feeling
that this is what I wanted to do.
That today. I just like he woke up that day and said and chose violence.
Yeah. Well, again, they always call him the agent of chaos, and that whole thing is interesting to me.
It's like he's so great, like all of them, like all of the Batman villains, just crazy, like
and they're so beyond just petty theft or just theft. There's always something else going on up there besides, and that to me that makes it a lot more interesting.
Yeah, because they're not just your like casual. I'm just gonna rob this bank villain. It's just there's some thought and character. They're all very intelligent people.
Yes.
They are all very intelligent people. It's just one might be missing a chromosome or two, and it just it caused them to go awry.
To take it to another extreme,
But yeah, Batman villains. There's like this scene in one of the Arkham video games. I think the very first one. And you're fighting Scarecrow, and he injects you with his fear toxin. So now you're walking through the morgue, and I was playing this game. I have no idea why I decided to play this game in all black. Like turned out all the lights. It was completely pitch black. And I'm playing this Batman game. And you're walking through the morgue, and then you walk into a room, and there are 2 body bags on the table. And then you can't walk out the room. You got to walk up to the body bags, and you open one, and nothing happens. It's his mother.
Batman's mother?
It's Batman's mother.
Okay.
Then you go to the other one and you open it and it's his father, and then you kind of just looks at you for a minute and then he jumps up at you.
Oh.
Bro, it's the scariest thing. Like, I jumped sitting there playing that game.
Like, where are those lights?
Yes. Because I was like, why did I play this moment
in the dark?
But I was like, yeah, man, like, because it was awesome. Villains are amazing
Yeah.
when they're well done, and
Yes.
I never understand,
especially when they're well done. When they're well done, yeah,
and it always just confuses me how they lose,
yeah,
and I just feel like it's like cheap. Like, for example, going back to like Star Wars and like Darth Vader, like, fam, whose idea was it to put that hole in the Death Star?
exactly.
Whose idea was that?
And they did it again.
And they did it again.
Oh, it's like, wait a minute. You made you did all of that work all over again to add the same feature that allowed the first one to be blown up back into there.
Like, you mean you did it again?
It's like it's like your house being ravaged, your ceiling or your ceiling or your roof being ravaged, or your interior ceiling or your interior roof being ravaged by raccoons. So you have a new roof put on, but you don't fix the problem, and the raccoons get back in the same way they did last time. And you're like, now you just spent, let's say, $20,000 on a brand new roof, and now you got the same problem.
The same problem because you didn't fix it.
Because you really didn't fix the problem.
I'm like, fam, are you kidding me? Why would you put whose idea was it to put the hole? Like, period, just in the Death Star.
Yeah. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, you didn't think maybe to put a screen over the hole
Or something. And then you mean to tell me this man uses the Force to make that almost impossible shot? Mm-hmm. Because one, the speed he was traveling.
Exactly.
He couldn't actually see where he was shooting.
Mm-hmm. It was a quote unquote a leap of faith. You know, he just shot his head.
It's called cheap nonsense, is what you call it.
All right, we can't think of anything else. All right. Let's put the hole back.
Let's use the Force.
Let's use the Force and
put the hole back in.
Put the hole back in.
Like, I never get that. Even with the Decepticons. Somebody has to explain to me how the Decepticons keep losing when they always get the cooler gadgets. Like, every new Decepticon has 20 times more cooler gadgets than
more firepower, more
more firepower, more weaponry, more everything than the Autobots, and yet you lose every time.
Every time. It's crazy. It's almost like, and sometimes I go see or watch these movies because in the back of my mind, I'm always hoping, I'm always saying, well, maybe the bad guy will win this time. But, it's like that thing that I guess that we just have inherently in our character, or inherently in writing, or inherently even in movies, where good has always got to win.
Yes.
Good has always got to win. It's got to win. It's got to win. Give people hope. He's got to win. Okay. And here's the thing. I get it. I get that. But it would be kind of interesting to see the villain win.
Just once.
Just once in a while.
Just once, every now and then.
Because it would make it look a little bit more real.
Exactly.
Because we know we don't really live in a world where good wins all the time. Maybe good ultimately wins, but it doesn't always win. It may ultimately win the battle or the war, but it doesn't win every battle.
Like, show me, where they took a couple hours. That was actually why I kind of got disappointed with Revenge of the Fallen. Mm-hmm. Because
I think by that time I stopped watching.
I was reading, I don't remember where I read it, but I read that the Autobots lost. Uh-huh. They were going to lose in Revenge of the Fallen, hence the name Revenge of the Fallen. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, great. I was mad excited to go see that movie because I'm like, the Autobots going to lose this one, and then in the next movie, they make their comeback, and then you could do it. Like, that was fine with me. Like, have your comeback.
No problem with that.
No problem with that. Have your comeback moment.
Yeah.
But then Optimus won again. And he only even won because a Decepticon changed sides and helped him. Mm-hmm. If he didn't get those parts from Jetfire, Optimus Prime loses. And everyone loses. Mm-hmm. And the Fallen takes over. And I don't think that would have been such a bad idea. But, Maybe that's just me and my little warped brain.
Nope. It would have been, like I said, sometimes. So again, we've talked about this going back to the Avengers. So it was kind of cool
to see Thanos. Yes.
Win. Even though he took out all these people and took out half the people in the galaxy, it was kind of interesting to see, and so to me that just gave them something to work towards.
Yes,
for the next movie. Yeah, that was
and even like it was kind of like watching Thanos once he actually snapped and like you found out that like he did it. Mm-hmm. It was kind of like I had a moment because I like Thanos, right? Mm-hmm. Because again, I love the villains.
Yeah.
And for me personally, Thanos is, I've said this many times before, he was a little off in his methodology, but yeah, his end goal made sense. It made sense. But so when he did it, right? So I was like rooting for him. Mm-hmm. And then I have like this thing where like remember in X3?
Yes.
Once Dark Phoenix just starts like going crazy and like killing everybody, and Magneto goes, "What have I done?" Because it's like you're rooting for the bad guy, but then once they actually start winning, it's like, holy crap, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? I had that moment when Thanos won because I was like, it was like a roller coaster of emotions. Because at first I was like Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park, and I was like, you did it.
Yeah.
You crazy SOB. You really did it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, but what have I done? Why am I rooting for you? Oh my goodness. That was crazy.
I don't think, I guess because we're so conditioned for that not to happen.
Right.
We were still, you see him do it, but you're at some point you're waiting for somebody to swoop in and save the day. But that did not happen, and they did not give us that. Thank God they didn't, but they did not give us that in this movie. And characters who we have been following for the last 20 years had started disappearing.
Started going.
And you're like, I wasn't really wanting that.
Yeah, like it was like I didn't think all of this would happen.
I didn't. Yeah, exactly. Right up to then we talked about it before, but right up to the point where Spider-Man.
Yes.
And you're like, no, not Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, but not. I'm like, he just got here. Because honestly, what I was expecting, right? Once people started like disappearing, I'm like, they about to get all of the older Avengers, they getting them out of here. And then it's going to be up to the new Avengers to come in and save the day. But I'm like, wait, Spider-Man just got here. He just got here. He's got one movie.
Yep.
He just got here. Why are you taking him out too? Holy crap. No one is safe. It's kind of like how I felt watching Game of Thrones.
Exactly.
It's kind of like how I felt watching Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Because especially, right, because I've said this before, I was rooting Team White Walkers. That was me. Like, and who I wanted to have the Iron Throne? The White Walkers. I was rooting for them. I was just like, you know what? Because I knew everyone else was rooting against them. So I was like, nah, the White Walkers are going to win. And then, they started like, towards like the last couple seasons, they started doing what was called power rankings. As far as like, leveling up like power rankings and like the Game of Thrones and like who, like, because we got down to like the final like 4 teams. So, like who's ranked high, and the White Walkers just started like gaining. Like they just started climbing. And then I was like, my boys, we might take the chip this year. Like this might be our moment. And then when they got a dragon,
yeah. Then when they got the dragon,
when the Night King said, it's still one of the coolest scenes when the Night King was like, "Yo, hold my beer," and pulled that spear out of nowhere, and was just like, "Yeah, I got it." And and then I was like, cool, they got a dragon now. The White Walkers are gonna win. Like, but then in the battle for Winterfell, when it actually looked like that they were gonna lose, I was like, wait, I don't really think I should be doing this. like I'm rooting for the White Walkers, but this is kind of, should I be? I was having those moments like, what am I doing here? Like,
Yeah.
I think I chose the wrong side. I don't think I should be rooting for them to win. But then they lost. And they went out in the first round.
Yeah.
And that was disappointing.
And like I said, it's just fun, and it gives like a little bit of an edge to me. It makes a movie a little bit, makes me sit up and watch the movie a little bit more intently because of the fact that I'm like, well, maybe they might win. Oh my God! Oh. And then it's like you get that moment of clarity where you're like, oh, but wait a minute, they're the bad guys. We don't want the bad guys to win. Or do we?
Or do we? Because, I mean, especially now, we don't need, I don't think it's as simple now, good guys and bad guys.
No.
So it's just, I have an idea. I have a plan of something I want to do, but then you don't agree with my plan, so you're trying to do everything in your power to stop my plan.
And when you said that, it made me think. And my phone, of course, those of you might have heard it. My ringtone was the theme from Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Perfect example.
Perfect example. Walter White. You find again, he's a man doing some really heinous stuff. He's contributing to the drug culture in a major way. I mean, it's selling one of the most lethal drugs out there, crystal meth.
And because his was like the most purest crystal meth out here. Like, he wasn't selling that watered down crap. No, his was like top tier, top of the line.
Guaranteed to addict you.
Guaranteed. From the very first hit.
Guaranteed. You was if you got hold to some Heisenberg crystal meth, guess what, dude? You was a customer for life.
For life. For life. And it was only because he was dying of cancer.
Yeah.
And he had medical bills.
You know, and then you do the whole sociological thing where it's like, yeah, but it's so sad that we live in a culture that you can't get proper medical treatment and medical care, that you can't get proper medical insurance. Yeah, you do all of that, but this still so you do what you have to do. You have to survive. But then you think about it. At the end of the day, you were still doing some really heinous stuff, man.
Yeah. Especially like the higher he got and the more money he started to make.
Exactly. When was the cutoff going to be? Again, as you go further into the series, you find out he says, I did it because I liked it.
Right. Like, he started off with it, but
he said, I might have had some really altruistic intent before. He said, but at the end of it all,
he really liked it. And honestly, he was really good at it.
And he was good at it.
He found out that this was,
Mm-hmm. So it's like it's interesting. At the end of it all, you find yourself kind of like rooting for him and hoping that, that he'll get out of this. He'll walk away from it. And
definitely,
and go on, but it's like,
should we?
Yeah, but should you?
That's kind of like every time I watch American Gangster, and I get upset every time they catch Frank Lucas outside the church. I get really sad, and I'm like, but I shouldn't, because in this one, technically, he's the villain.
He's the villain, yeah.
He's the villain, but I'm like, yo, Frank is just. He's so good. Like, it was just, you liked the character so much.
I was just getting ready to say, you took the words right out of my mouth, man.
That you were rooting for him to win, even though
he was doing some real shady stuff, some really heinous.
You shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, this is actually what I want to talk about. Like, it's great how we just like flew right into it, because movies and shows like that, right, where it's about Frank Lucas was American Gangster is based on Frank Lucas, who was an actual person.
Mm-hmm.
He was a real life, like this was based on like his real life story, the rise and fall of him
Mm-hmm.
and his drug business.
Mm-hmm.
So, great movie,
Mm-hmm.
like top tier. The album Jay-Z did attached to it was
Yeah.
even fantastic
Yeah.
itself. But it's like, should we be highlighting these moments in like cinema and film? I bring that up because recently Netflix dropped Dahmer.
Oh, dude, have you been watching that?
No, I'm not. I'm still going back and forth with whether or not I actually want to.
I've been watching it, man. Again, and yeah, I've been watching it.
And that's why, because that has literally been everyone's reply and response to that. And I'm like, fam, so why do you do it?
I have no idea. It's like it's his performance. First of all, what's the guy's name? He played Quicksilver.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I heard that he's been doing a stellar job.
He is so incredibly creepy. But you know what? Even when he would play other roles on American Horror Story, and then even when he played Quicksilver, it's like there was like always this edge of creepiness about him. But he's like he plays this really creepy role and gives it. The whole film is dark and is creepy, and you kind of like know, if you know his story, you kind of like know what he's doing. You know where this is going. It's just a weird feeling movie. And I'm sorry, going back to what was your initial question dealing with this?
Should we be highlighting?
Yeah, should we be highlighting
these moments?
I don't know, because here's the thing. You figure, what would be the purpose of it? What are we
Right.
What are we learning? What's the takeaway from this? Are we learning anything about this? Anything from this?
Because
And if it's entertaining, and this is a question I ask myself, if it's entertaining, why is this
why is it entertaining?
is this entertaining to you? I'm like, what? I'm thinking to myself, what kind of stuff you got going on in your head?
Right. It's drawing you in,
and it's
entertaining.
entertaining.
It's entertaining.
So I've been kind of like watching it, but I've been watching it in like short doses. I'll watch it for a little while, then it's like, okay, I got to turn this off. And then I'll go, but then I said, but I got to go back and see what happened. Even though you kind of like know what's getting ready to happen, just so. And I guess the only difference between, they go a lot of course, into his backstory, but that does not make it any better.
No, it doesn't. And what it honestly does is, right, if you're watching it and stories, not just this story, but like stories like it, and even like, for example, like American Gangster and other shows like that, and even like Blackbird, which was on Apple TV Plus, though they are good, right? What this does, yes, if you don't know it, it like shows you, it tells you the story. But what it also is doing is the victims, those affected, those left behind, who were directly affected by like Dahmer's victims.
Had families.
And they had to go through all of this already, like while it was happening. And then you put in, there's probably countless like documentaries and things like that, and like pieces written about it.
Because people are fascinated by that. I mean, this isn't like the first thing that they've ever done.
No,
about
absolutely not.
Jeffrey Dahmer. They've done like you said, documentaries, miniseries, different things that different types of shows. Again, I guess, but again, what's the takeaway from it? Are you doing this because you're trying to help us to understand the mentality or the psyche behind why people do what they do, or is it just for entertainment purpose? And then going back to myself, now I'm not talking about y'all, I'm talking about me. It's like, why am I entertained by that?
Exactly. And then because it's like, it's bringing them right back. Like, because Jeffrey Dahmer was like, how long ago? Like,
it's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
But now with this show coming back, you're kind of forcing them to relive a very traumatic portion of their life.
Yeah. Yes.
And you're like bringing them right back to that, like, because what if like you went through, like, you had to go through like some super serious like therapy, and like you had to work really hard to like attempt to move on and get past this.
Yeah, exactly. And now,
it's right back in your face.
Yeah.
Thrown right back in your face.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, granted, yes, again, this stuff is entertaining. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But should it be?
Should it be
Entertaining?
And should it be out and should it be out there again? Because my I guess the part of me that may be a little bit more rational says to me, okay, well, maybe there's a takeaway from all of this.
Right.
Maybe we get to learn something from all of this. Maybe we get to a little bit more insight into the characterization of why a person does what they do and how and what drove them to that point and what kept them there and stuff. And so you get a little, maybe there's a takeaway, but then at the end of the day, the takeaway is just so that you would be entertained or scared or feared
right.
And that's not a good takeaway.
No, it's not.
Because it's like, then you put it back into the realm of it just being entertainment. And it's like, why are you trying to entertain me
entertained?
It's like,
right. Why is this something you want me to be entertained by? Like, why?
Yeah.
What about this?
Yeah.
And it's because they know that because it's everywhere.
And it's really funny that you brought it up because like I said, I've been watching it, but I was not bringing that up because I was not going to talk about that because I was not. No, I want people to know I'm looking at this. Nah.
Yeah, I haven't watched as of yet, and I am not 100% sure that I ever will start it.
Yeah, it's like I watch it and then I'm only up to like the second. No, I think I'm in the third episode. And it's like I watch it for a little while, then I got to turn it off and find something else to watch that will kind of like, get that out of my head.
Right. Yeah, because it's like most times, like you watch something like that, it's like you should not go right to sleep immediately after.
No,
nor could you go to sleep.
I definitely will not go to bed with that on my head.
Yeah, it kind of brings to the point, like, why do we watch scary movies too? Not to like go off, but like, cause scary movies, fam. Like for me personally, your scary movie is not good if I don't have to pray afterwards.
If I don't have to call on Jesus.
Yeah, if I don't have to call on Jesus after watching your movie was bad.
Yeah, then it wasn't. If
scary. I am not afraid, but then again, it's like, why am I putting myself
through that? Yeah. Exactly.
Why am I going to this movie with the purpose of being scared? For me personally, spooky season is coming up, and
there you go.
It's the perfect time to watch. Like, and I'm kind of upset now because again, usually I would watch this with Jazz, but she's in North Carolina now, so it's like I don't have my partner anymore to watch. Like, because we would get together and it's like, yo, scary movie night.
Yep.
And we would get together, get some food with the purpose of watching multiple
scary
movies.
I love the month of October because during the month of October, AMC, the AMC network, every night, well, actually, not even every night, during the day too, that whole month is, I think they call it Shocktober, but the whole month they're showing horror movies.
Yes.
Almost like all day long. And so I usually go online and get a listing of what movies they're showing and put it on I'm putting stuff on my calendar.
Absolutely. What's the name does it too? Even on those, it's not necessarily all scary, but like in the realm of Freeform, they do their. It started off. Right, it was like 13 nights of Halloween.
Yes.
But then they extended it, and now it's the entire month.
The whole month.
The whole month.
Yep. Yeah.
And they've released that lineup already of what's coming on, like the every day, all 31 days.
Wow.
So it's like it's a great time, but it's like why exactly are we putting ourselves through this to where, again, like I said, if I don't need to pray immediately afterwards. For example, when I watched Hereditary. You ever seen Hereditary?
Oh my God.
Like, as soon as that movie was over, I was like, okay, Jesus, listen,
take these thoughts out of my head.
please, because I know I shouldn't have watched this movie, but I watched it. Like, I know for a fact I shouldn't have watched this movie, but
Purge it from my memory.
please, because we're here. I'm like, at the end of the day, we're here now.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I can't take it back.
I can't, yeah.
But I got to go to sleep tonight. So help me, please, because I got to go to sleep. And it's actually funny, even like watching the movie, it was a little creepy because that subwoofer right there,
Ooh.
because of like, I guess how loud I had it, the front part blows out air. So like, and I was sitting right in front of it. So like, as scenes are happening, I would just feel this gust of air, and I would jump thinking that like something, because it felt like something crawling on my legs. I'm like, yo, what is in here? And it adds to like the level of fear and excitement.
Yeah.
And
again, I have seen Hereditary, and the first time I watched it, my son had seen it already.
Yeah.
And he said to me, I have just seen the most disturbing movie I have ever seen in my life. And when it came, I didn't go to the theaters to see it. So when it came on cable, and he said it's on, and he told me it was on, and he said don't watch it at night. I said why? He said just don't. He said because the first time I saw it, he said I went to the movies at the theater to see it, and I went at night. He said, and I came home, and me and my wife were away on vacation. And so he was the only one home. He said, I had to turn on all the lights. He said, I did not sleep good that night.
yeah,
He said it was so crazy. Every little noise he heard, he was like jumping. He's like,
I wish I had that warning.
he said, watch it during the day. And so I did. I was like, because he was really serious.
Yeah.
And so I watched it. And I was like, oh, this is... And the one scene that always sticks with me was the way the film... Because it was like incredible. The way they shot things was incredible. Where I think it was the mother and she was... she was kind of like being possessed or whatever she was going through, because I still really don't understand it. But there was a scene where she's in the shadows, and he was seeing one thing. He thought he was seeing something else. But then all of a sudden, you see the thing charge out the shadows, and it turns into her. And it literally turns into her. I was like this. I think I stopped breathing.
Oh, definitely. I agree, man.
Oh my God.
It was that movie. It was insane.
Yeah.
Insane from the first part had me, because I was like, it starts off a little dry.
Yeah.
But then, when he's driving his sister to the hospital, and she puts her head out the window.
Oh my.
And she loses her head. I said, oh. Like, I screamed.
Yeah.
I screamed.
Because I was not expecting that.
I was not expecting that
Especially
at all.
early in the movie. Not expecting that.
Not at all. And then I was like, and then what like kept the shock and awe going was him, like he pulled up to the house, parked the car, and then went in the house as if nothing
had happened. He was so traumatized. And so was I. But he was so traumatized that he just,
Yeah, I was like, and then I kind of knew what made us watch the movie was the grandmother.
Yeah.
Because she was in a show I watched on HBO called The Leftovers.
Okay. I didn't watch that, but yeah, I know the show you're talking about.
It's another crazy show, like right in the minds, where it's just like, honestly, I'm just gonna say it's the Rapture, like, because like,
oh, that's right there. I did,
because like,
and I
people
meant
just
and I meant to watch
disappear.
Yeah.
So she was in that show, and she was a part of a cult, and she was like creepy and crazy in that show. So I was like, yo, she's in a horror movie? I know it's about to be good.
Yeah, because she played creepy and
She's
crazy.
like a queen at playing very creepy roles.
Yeah.
So I was like, this movie's gonna be good, and it was good. And I've never seen it again.
Nope, I watched it once.
I watched it once, never watched it again. As a matter of fact,
learned my lesson. I was like, nope.
I have never seen anything else the director of that movie has done.
Really? Well, you know what? I'm a glutton for punishment, so I did watch.
You watched Midsummer?
Midsummer.
Yeah,
I did watch Midsummer, and again, and it was the same thing with Midsummer. I watched it once, and I've never watched it again. It was like, nope.
Yeah, nah. Once I saw Midsummer coming out,
Nope.
and I was like, oh, that looks like a nice horror movie, and then it was like made from the director of Hereditary. I said, oh, I'm not watching that. Never mind. I was like, it could look as good as it want. I am not watching that movie.
I did.
Nope.
And after I watched it, I was like, now I'm at the stage where you're at. It's like, nah.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Anything from that director, I'm good. I'm good.
I am done.
I'm good. I like to. That's kind of how I felt watching. Not in the same breath, but like watching Us.
Yeah.
That one, right? The movie wasn't like scary, but I have a very vivid imagination. So for me, it wasn't really all that implausible.
Okay, I got you. I see what you're saying.
So it was kind of like, huh,
that could happen.
I'm like, that doesn't. It didn't. The premise of that movie didn't seem like a stretch to me.
Yeah, I got you.
So I'm like, it was very difficult to just,
yeah,
just be out at night because like I immediately had to come home and like walk the dogs. So then I was like, oh crap. So it was like as soon as I went outside, the lights went out on the block, and I was like, why right now? I can't see them coming right now.
Yeah,
because this block gets like super dark.
Yes,
when them lights don't work.
The lights don't work. Yeah, when the lights are out, you can't see nothing.
You can't see nothing at all.
Nothing.
So yeah, it's just
So going back to like the initial questions, it's like what is our takeaway from all of that stuff? It's like like the Dahmer movie. It's like why are I guess because again at the end of the day, some people are entertained by that kind of movie.
Yeah,
people are entertained by it, and as long as people will watch, they'll make the movie.
They're gonna keep making it.
I get one of the things one of the stand-up performers is Niecy Nash is in it.
I heard she's doing really good.
She is really good, and maybe that's another interesting addition because she lived in the building that he lived in, so she was watching and hearing a lot of this stuff happen firsthand, and they kept calling the police, and the police wouldn't do anything. Until the end, till his last victim got away. And that was when the police finally stepped in and they found all of the stuff in his house. But yeah, she had been there from like almost the beginning, and she had been hearing things coming out of his apartment and seeing stuff going on in
right.
And she would call the police because there's a scene that they show in upcoming episodes where she's actually in the courtroom, and she was like, I kept calling. No, when they was arresting him and they were taking him away, she was like, I called y'all several times, and nobody came. Nobody would come. Nobody would come out here to help. She said, I warned. She said, I kept calling and saying what I was hearing, and they even played. They had gotten a copy of one of the 911 calls that particular character had made.
Okay.
Sure enough, you hear her talking to the police and telling them that she thinks, and they almost talk her. It's almost like they Jedi mind trick her into thinking
that nothing's going on.
That's not what's going. That there's nothing going on.
See, man,
which was to me was really crazy.
That is insane.
And there's a theory I had behind that too, is because they were in kind of like a black project kind of neighborhood.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
They wasn't trying to come.
So they really weren't overly, to me, overly concerned about the whole thing.
Absolutely not.
No. So again, it was like it's an interesting movie. I'll be glad when if I finish it, I'll be glad when I finish it because it's kind of, like I said, it's a little bit much. But yeah, and I find myself kind of like, and you kind of like, if for me, I have watched other movies like they've done documentaries about serial killers um, like Dahmer, John Wayne Gacy. What's the other guy? I cannot think of his name right now. Ted.
Bundy?
Yeah, Ted Bundy. It's like they're like the big three.
Yeah.
You know, they're like the big three, the three American boogeymen. It's like, no, you don't have to worry about Jason. These are the guys you needed.
Yeah,
These was the guys you needed to be worried
They
about.
did a series about that too.
What?
Ted Bundy.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah,
With Zac Efron.
Yes.
And this is also part of the
Yes.
problem because like people start like almost like romanticizing them because the actors that play them.
Because exactly.
And I'm like, people, please understand that Jeffrey Dahmer and I can't think of his name, but I'm gonna call him Quicksilver. That's
Dahmer,
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer, and Ted Bundy, and
like please understand that Ted Bundy don't look like Zac Efron. please get that before you're like, yo, because I saw a tweet, and it was like based off like the cover, and the tweet was like, I think he would have got me too.
Well, you know what they say, and again, I've heard this and said about Ted Bundy that not only was they said he was attractive, physically attractive, but they also said he was very charismatic. He had a way with words to the point where they showed in one movie they had done about him when they finally got him into the he talked his way out of the police station.
Oh, that man is good.
That man is good. That's like borderline demonic.
Yeah, that man is good.
I was like, what? He talked his way out of the police station and escaped.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's craziness to me. It's like it's like I said. But why are you making these movies, and why are we entertained by them? Because at the end of the day, if there's no other takeaway, the only takeaway from it is that we're entertained by them. That's why people keep making them. That's why directors, everybody has their spin on it. Everybody has a new take on it. But at the end of it all, you have a person who's out there murdering people.
Exactly.
And like you said, you end up almost romanticizing that person.
And it stifles the creativity a bit.
Yeah.
Because if this is what's in right now, then the guy who has a new original idea for a new like story not related, that's like not real life, he doesn't really get heard because they're looking for the next Dahmer. They're looking for the next Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
Like they're looking for like the next story like that.
Yeah.
And it goes back to previous episodes where it's like, fam, there are other things, brand new ideas that we could be conveying on television and screen.
And there's so many places that you can do it now, and so many mediums and streams and stuff that you can do. Yeah, give the new stuff
Give it a chance.
Give it a chance. If it don't work,
Then it don't work.
then it don't work. Do like they normally would do with it, and you turn to the station one day looking for it, and it's gone.
Right. Just, have it disappear. It's fine.
And it's gone. Just gone. No explanation, nothing. No note on the table saying, I don't love you anymore. Goodbye. No, nothing. None of that. Gone. Just
gone.
They're gone.
Just gone.
Yeah. It's I'm really, really, again, that part of it really interests me, or it draws me in, because again, I wonder why, and the other portion is that then I wonder why I'm watching,
Yeah.
So it's not as entertaining as one would think. Again, and like I said, as we move into Halloween and the Halloween season, and we get inundated with, because there's no stretch that they held it and they're filming it and they're
absolutely.
showing it.
It was
now.
definitely
It
planned
was
to
definitely planned.
lead us right into spooky
Yeah,
season.
to lead us right into that. And remember, I sent you that list of
Yes.
the craziest horror movies ever made.
Yes.
And believe it or not, I have seen almost all of them. The only one on that list that I just refuse to watch is the Human Centipede because, again, I'm not watching that because I can't understand why. Why would you do that?
Yeah,
It's like,
I'm good on that. I'm good on
fine.
that.
I'm fine with it. I was like, nope,
I'm good on that.
not even slightly interested.
Yeah, most of the other stuff I do plan to watch, but when it comes, like I said, I have a very vivid imagination.
Yeah, me too.
And when I go to sleep, it doesn't shut off.
No. Nope.
It doesn't shut off. Like I have some of the most, and the crazy part is like most people when you have a dream, like they wake up the next morning, they hardly like remember.
That's me. I don't very rarely remember.
Oh no, I remember everything.
Really?
Literally everything, down to the smallest details.
Really? And you know what? And I'm kind of glad I don't remember them because of the fact that I've had some. I'm usually the one who has like the screamers.
Yeah.
I'll wake up in the middle of the night, go like
yeah. Trust me.
And looking around like where am I? Like wondering like where am I?
Definitely.
So whatever it is I'm dreaming about, if I don't remember it the next morning, I consider it a plus.
Oh no, I definitely have. Like I had a dream one night, and I woke up the next morning like super like I was like shaking.
Wow. No.
Like I had a dream, and it was the craziest dream. I was in a church, and I told my mom like I was in church, and like my grandmother was there, grandfather was there, Deacon Reed was there.
Wow.
Mother Hare was there. Like it was like, and it was like after a church service, and I was just kind of like hanging around. And then Mother Hare looked at me and she was like, no, baby, go back. It's not your time yet.
No.
I woke up shaking.
No.
I woke up shaking because I was like, what you mean? It's not my time yet. Like, are you telling me that I was about to die or something? Like, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And just dreams like that, I've had them since I could remember.
Really?
So there are certain movies I couldn't watch.
Because they'll trigger.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so now I'm kind of playing catch up with like a lot of horror movies because I definitely couldn't watch horror. Like I couldn't watch certain like action movies because they would affect me when I'm sleeping. So I definitely couldn't watch horror movies.
Oh, wow.
So I'm kind of playing catch up with like all of the horror movies. So that's kind of why like I'm just behind in like that aspect.
Gotcha.
But it's having vivid dreams.
Yeah.
And watching certain movies I probably should still like be very particular
About
with what I watch.
Yeah. Yeah, because you never
because it's still definitely like, like I said, it still very much has an effect on like me and how I sleep and what happens while I sleep.
Yeah.
But glutton for punishment, I guess. So
we want to be entertained. And we don't even want the entertainment to end at once we start sleeping.
No, right?
Like, it's like, okay, I want to see this.
I want to see this
all night.
I didn't get enough once the credits started rolling. We weren't finished yet.
I wanted more. Matter of fact, I wanted to be in the movie.
Yes, that's what happened. The movie was good, but it would have been better because I was there.
I was in it.
So
I'm going to do that.
I'm
going to
go to sleep so then I could be there.
Yeah. Nah. I'm not so much particular about what I watch because I'll watch, but there's just certain lines that I just will not cross.
Yes.
Certain lines I will not cross, and the Hereditary thing. If I had known, and I kind of did know, but I didn't really believe it because my son told me about it. But I really didn't think. I was like, nah, it's not gonna be that bad. Then I watched it. Oh God,
had I known what I knew, I probably would not have watched that movie.
This was rough. I was like, oh man. Yeah. So and like you said, with the Dahmer thing, I'll watch a little bit of it. I'll turn it off, and then it's like, let me find a cartoon.
Yes, definitely.
let me find a cartoon. Let me look at some Bugs Bunny or find something. Let me find something that'll make me laugh. Let me turn on a comedy show.
Something that'll just
I will go to Hulu and I will look at one of those old sitcoms that I used to look at,
yeah,
like I'll turn on The Odd Couple or turn on Cheers or turn on Frasier or something, or The Golden Girls or something like that.
right.
And I'll watch an episode or two of those, and then it's like, okay, this house is clean. I can go to bed now.
I tried that too, but then it didn't work. Once I saw, we went and saw Candyman, the newest one.
The new one, yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I came home. I was watching something. I was watching cartoons. Bob's Burgers. I was watching Bob's Burgers. And then I was like, all right, cool. And then I was like, all right, it's time to go to sleep. Got church in the morning. Turn off all the lights. I just so happened to look in my mirror. And I was like, yeah, I think I might have to just get rid of every mirror that's in this house. Like all the reflections, just put shades up on all the reflections. Just nothing. No, nothing.
No reflections.
No reflections at all.
None.
At all.
None.
Because again, I still refuse to say it. And again, I've said it once, so I won't say it anymore this episode. Because again, you just never know.
Yeah.
Like you will not catch me slipping at all. No, I'm good. I am good.
No problem with that.
So, believe it or not, speaking of that particular movie, there was a website. If you said it five times, then the trailer would pop up.
Really?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not doing that.
I was like, yeah, the devil is a lie. I'm not even seeing if that's true.
I could care less.
I could just type it in once and then the trailer will come up. I don't need to.
Yeah, nah.
I'm like, cool feature and all.
That's cute.
It's cute.
But and it's fun. Nah, but I'm not doing that.
I'm black. We don't play with that.
Nah. We don't mess with.
We
that
don't
stuff.
play them reindeer games. No.
It's like no.
Nah.
I can do what? Nah.
Nah, I'm good.
Nah.
I was like, and who? I was like, it's brilliant marketing.
That's the devil.
Don't get me wrong. Thank you. It is brilliant marketing. But nah. I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass.
No.
I'm gonna pass on that. Yeah.
Nah, not doing it. I can't. Like I said, I love horror movies, but I'm kind of particular about the ones that I do watch, and and even with the serial killer thing, like the Dahmers and all that stuff, I find myself drawn to them because I don't know. Maybe part of you is just part of you. We want again. There's psychologists that says that we just like to be scared.
Yes.
We like to be scared, and and it gives us a thrill and whatnot. Yeah, I like to be scared, but I don't want to be terrified, and I don't want to be thinking about the stuff after the movie is done. The serial killer stuff, I think about that stuff because I'm only thinking that stuff could happen to me.
Exactly.
There is a scene from, and in this movie, I don't care how many times I watch it, I can watch it like it's the first time I've seen it. Silence of the Lambs.
Yes.
Where they don't even introduce it, but it's Hannibal Lecter. But the Hannibal Lecter is like one of the main characters. But the real villain is a character called Buffalo Bill.
Yes.
Well, one of the times where they show how he catches one of his victims, and the girl he caught her because she was being a good Samaritan. Now, I'm not saying you should not help people. But
I'm very particular.
Listen to the story. Listen to the story. So he pretends like his arm is hurt, and he's trying to get a couch about the size of the one we just moved. He's trying to get a couch into his van to move it, and so he's struggling getting it in there, and she pulls up. She sees him, and she's like, "Sir, you need a hand? You need a help? You need any help?" And he's like, "Yes." Yes, come on. He said, yes. And so she said, all right, well, she goes to the van. He says, all right, you get in the van and pull it from that side. And so she was like, okay. And so she gets inside the van and she's pulling the couch in. She pulls the couch in and he gets in behind her. And then he starts asking her, he's like, so what size are you about? And she's like, what? And then he takes the cast that he had on his arm and he bludgeons her unconscious.
Oh yeah, but you just you know,
And so I was
you pay attention to certain things.
and so that's always in my head.
You know, you know what she wasn't.
Huh? Oh yes, I know.
You
know that's right.
You know what she wasn't.
She's like, no. She's like, you get in and I'll
push. I'll push.
Because that's always my thing. Is like I would have said, if I see somebody trying to do something like that, and they say, well, could you get in? No. You get in.
No.
I'll push.
I'll push.
And when I push, I'm gonna push it in, and I'm backing up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not going in. I'm gonna push it. Like I'm not getting in.
I'm not getting in.
I will push it to.
I will push it to the van.
Push
the van.
Up
in the van.
Yeah, and then go. All right. You be blessed now. You have a good day.
You have a great day.
I'll see you later.
All right.
You got it. All right.
Nah.
All right. But Nah, that movie's amazing though.
Oh, yeah.
I was blown away.
That's still one of my favorite
Anthony
movies.
Hopkins, man.
Anthony Hopkins.
Because it was chilling the first time.
Yeah.
That whole liver beans and a nice can thing.
Yeah.
Like that hiss.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
That gave me chills, man. That gave me chills.
And you sit there and you watch him and it's like he doesn't it's not like he's going out of his way to be terrifying.
No.
But you just get that certain aura.
Absolutely.
There's like something that comes off of him. He said that I read an article one time. He said that when the movie first came out, he would sneak into the theaters to watch people's reactions to the movie. And he said sometimes he would wait until the lights came on and the person turns around and sees. He said this lady, she turned around and she saw it was him. Said she screamed. Oh. He said yeah. So he would sneak into the theater just to see people's reactions to the to the movie, and he was incredible. That's
honestly he's the same way, and like ever since that role, right? Mm-hmm. Even though he plays different characters in like other movies, I still feel like he shouldn't be walking around free in those movies. Like
you still see it. You still see
you still see Hannibal Lecter and like all those other movies, with the exception of Thor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I'm like everything else.
It's like
Hannibal.
Hannibal.
You look like you just ate somebody for breakfast. Nah. I'm gonna keep my distance. We good.
You stay over there. And I just want to you just stay over there.
Yeah, you stay over there. I'll be over here. But we good. We good.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. And it doesn't. And it's really interesting. Is it still gives me a chill, even though I know what's going to happen.
Yes.
Even though I know how it's going to happen, I know how it's going to turn out. And going back to what I always say, is, and it's interesting. You almost find yourself in a way rooting for him. It's like you root for him because you're like, maybe he'll get away until he does.
And then you're like, wait, I don't think he should have actually. Wait, y'all weren't supposed to actually let him get away.
It was just supposed to be something in my head. But no. He actually gets away. Yes. And you're like, oh my God, he's free. It's like, that's creepy. It's like, no. That's just a thought I'm supposed to have.
Right. It's not supposed to be something that actually happens
now.
Not at all.
He's supposed to go to jail and be in there for the rest of his life.
Exactly, but nope. He got away. But
yeah.
So, I think honestly, Greg, we can call that episode.
Yeah, but just the one thing, but I said we talked about because we wanted to do a correction.
Yes, we did. We talked last episode. I corrected the last episode.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I missed. I don't remember that. But they're not. We're talking about Black Adam, which is going to be released in a couple of weeks.
Couple weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, they're predicting, and I was telling a friend of mine yesterday, DC needs a win.
They do.
They really need a win.
They need a win.
Now. They need a win. They need a win. So I'm hoping it does well. I'm hoping it does well. Although they are already advanced predictions, is that it's not going to do well. But I'm hoping that they're wrong. First of all, because I like The Rock.
Yes.
Dwayne Johnson. I like Dwayne Johnson, and I like his movies, and so I really and he has invested so much into this movie and into this character. I really want to see it do.
Yeah, I really want to see it do well.
Just
and I need to find a theater that has the. Have you seen the special edition Black Adam popcorn bowls?
No, what are they like?
Oh, they look so cool. It's like his suit. It's like someone took like his chest area and like made it a popcorn bowl.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's like this like gray, grainy popcorn bowl with the big lightning with the big. Me? No, I gotta have one. I gotta have one.
Oh my goodness! What theaters?
I don't know. I gotta find one that
Okay.
that has the.
I like popcorn, but I'm not really a big popcorn fan. I'm used to eating other stuff at the theater. But if I went to the theater and I saw one, I'm getting it.
I gotta get one.
I gotta get one. I'm getting it. So if I go to, AMC or wherever else I would go to see the theater, go see the movie because I'm going to go see it.
Definitely. I gotta figure out when.
Yeah. Definitely gonna go see it. But if I saw it, I'm definitely getting the bowl.
My Saturdays are gone. When am I gonna go?
Oh, that's right. Now? Yeah.
When am I gonna go to the
movies? Oh gosh, because you're kind of like booked for the weekends.
Yeah.
On Sundays.
Yeah.
That would be the only recourse would be.
Because most Sundays.
Well, what about because you don't start work until midweek, right?
Yes, Tuesday to Saturday.
Oh wow, so you basically only got, if you're going to go, Sunday and Monday. Monday might not be bad because you go Monday, it's not going to be
everybody's back at work.
Everybody's so you kind of like
that could be fun.
Yeah, that might work. Yeah. They tried to boycott our girls' movie.
Who?
Viola Davis, the Warrior King.
I heard that because
they
found like some problems and whatnot.
Not really. They're really not problems. It's what it is with the movie is that obviously this movie is based on a true story,
right?
And it's a story, but they didn't make it from a historical. They're not making it from a historical, a documentary.
Oh, they're just having fun. Like they're having fun with it. Kind of like what Inglourious Basterds did with Hitler.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. You know that didn't happen during the war.
Right. Come on now.
They're just having fun with the movie, having fun with the genre, with that particular.
Take a long walk off a short bridge.
Yeah. So
take a long walk off a short bridge.
Yeah, it's like
let us have our fun.
Yeah, it's like come on, really. So first of all, I'm surprised that most of y'all would even know that. But since you did go out and dig up,
it's got to be something.
Yeah,
it's got to be something.
Since you did
let
go
us
out
have our fun, we could do it
and troll the internet until you found something. It's like, all right, so what? And she said it best. Viola don't pull no punch.
No,
she said, all right, you don't like the movie, don't go see it. How simple is that?
Super simple.
That is so simple.
Super simple.
I hear if there's a movie out, unless it's about something really heinous like killing cats or doing something to small children or something like that. Now that's doing something extra like that.
Right.
Okay. Now those kind of that I would say no, boycott that. That should not even be in existence. But by that same token, just because I don't like the particular actor or actress, or just because I don't like the particular storyline,
right?
If I don't like it, then I'm not going to go see it. Guess
exactly. And the crazy part is, even though we're doing a podcast, which is pretty much just like our opinions, bro, you don't have to give your opinion on everything all the time. You know how much stuff I keep silent on here?
Oh my God, yeah. How much stuff we don't say.
I'm like, bro, you don't have to. You don't want to see it? Don't go see it.
We may be one of the most the most agreeable podcast.
For real.
out there because we don't get on here and say, "Oh, this is garbage. You should know." It's like, yeah, well, we didn't like it.
We didn't like it, but
If you want to go see it,
if you want to go see it, go for
go
it.
for
Like,
it.
because it's all, again, at the end of the day, it's all subjective.
And if you liked it, then please come back and tell us what you liked about it.
Exactly. I'll have the debate with you.
Yeah, we'll talk it out. We'll talk and tell us what you liked about it.
At the end of the day, I won't try to convince you of why I didn't, and
No.
you shouldn't try to convince me. Because,
Exactly.
again, like I just said, it's subjective.
It is subjective. So, we may be the most interesting. We may be an interesting podcast in that regard because, again, at the end of the day, we believe it's all subject.
I mean, we're the most interesting podcast in all regards, just
Yeah.
because we are the most interesting podcast. Sir, heavy bias in that, but is it bias when it's true?
No, it is not. It is not.
So,
it
there
is,
you go, ladies
It is
and gentlemen.
definitely not biased when
There
it's
you
true.
go. It's
As a
true.
matter of fact, we can't even say it's biased. It's factual.
It's factual. It's
Yeah.
proven. It's a fact.
It's fact.
We are the most intriguing podcast out here.
Yes.
Yes.
You heard it here first.
Right from the horse's mouth.
There you go.
But yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
that was fun.
Yeah,
This
that
was
was good.
fun.
This was good. We had a good time.
Yeah.
Hope you guys had a good time too. And matter of fact, since we're going into spooky month, or when we come back again, we'll be right into spooky month.
Absolutely.
Do us a favor. Tell us what your favorite scary movie is. And if you can or are open to it, tell us why it scared you.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I might even go watch it if I haven't seen
if
it.
I haven't seen it, I'll go watch
I'll
it.
go watch and talk about it because, again,
Except for the human
centipede. I'm not doing it.
I draw the line.
I refuse.
No.
Or for me personally, Midsummer. I'm not watching it. So just those
for
two
me,
movies.
For those, any other movie except
Any other
those
movies
two?
other than those, we're good.
Yeah,
We are
can
good.
talk about it, but I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not gonna actually go watch it.
No.
No.
There are
No, I
certain things
refuse.
that
Yeah.
I just refuse to put into my head.
I am Kunta. I will put my foot down. I
Yeah.
am not watching those movies.
Okay,
So.
but until then,
Yeah, but until the next one,
yeah,
we out.
we out. Y'all take care.